last year this time, and Danny was the only one then. Uncle Warner passed away, and I think it was just about a year ago.
Probably has been that.
But Danny wants to be back here, so.
There's no need for us.
Yeah, where's some of that service?
Yeah.
That's what they had.
Well, I guess
He said, you make sure Dunhays take care of me. I said, well, Dunhays will take care of me.
why do you want to get involved?
Warner did.
You don't need to get involved.
Aunt Judy brought him back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says you might have had him, I had them all around.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
She's still living down there?
It's got nothing in it.
Aunt Judy,
Yeah.
It's her project, not ours.
they sold out a couple years ago. She's still in Noblesville, but as far as Florida, they sold out a couple years ago because Uncle Warren's health. So, no. So it's the next generation.
Been a heck of a day, Tom.
What?
Bad day.
What's the place or?
Mm-hmm, yeah. The next gen.
Was he down there with all the rest of them?
Mm-hmm.
Kirsty's involved in it, I'm not surprised to hear that.
Sorry. They all started mine.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I started down there in
What do you,
73.
you need any paperwork, Tom, or you got it?
Yeah.
I think I've got everything, but let me just
Tommy
settle.
was
You might not have the new numbers.
the reason I went down there, because
This is not a big deal, but we got that, Matt, one appraisal. For Jerry Board's property, we had to get a new, he forgot to put 2.27
Stay in
acres.
that KLA campground.
So you might not have, I sent the email today, so you,
I think I received it.
here's a copy.
What's the slide over the slide?
put
It
cars
was,
coming out of there. He used to put
But it keeps coming out, it keeps moving.
Tom always wanted to bring his little motor scooter around, but they didn't allow him. So he went to the owner, he went KOA then, he went to the owner, he said, that's terrible the way they left that. So I helped him, I went down and straightened all that out, pretty much.
How you doing, Greg? All right?
Good,
how about yourself? Fine, thank you.
Well, I look nice for everybody, I enjoy coming down here, talking about money, so, you think, you come and you can have it, I guarantee you that. He said, hey, there is something, I like to ride my 50cc.
Around the park.
And he was the only one that had one. That's the only reason he did it, you know?
There's advantages to that.
Yeah.
Whoa, I think I lost.
You were being.
I'm the BT.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jerry.
I can fill in for
Hey,
Jay.
sir.
Good to see you.
I like your shirt.
You guys are here tonight, too, Carl?
I made it home ec. When I was a
Did you
junior
they
high
had a home ec over here?
Yeah, it was a 3-stitch process, but it worked out okay.
they did have boys on
I'm just kidding, Greg. I tried to sew something, my fingers would be sewed together.
I got ones just like that.
I know you do.
And I got a black one.
Really? Lucky devil.
I knew you were gonna have yours on, so
The Easter
I
Bunny.
went to black.
Yes, I got it, my second guess.
Harvard.
That would have been my second guess.
California Clyde.
Mr. Austin?
What was it?
It is a success place.
I'm the replacement for the A team. Yeah, he was in a meeting with the mayor, and so I got sent down to fill in. You know, if you're so far ahead, you can put it in scrubs, and that's the way the coaches do it. Yeah, that's my thought, and I assume that's how I fit in.
Well, all you can see. All you can see.
You can tell.
Yeah, the gig, I haven't gone through it, but I'll kind of follow your lead. I haven't been around here for a while.
I think Uncle Warren.
day to pray with them.
I see that. I'm up.
Hello, Bob. How are you?
So I called him the first one appraiser and I said, we included it. Oh, yeah. So it's just one thing you have. You may need that.
Bill? I don't do anything with, it says you intend to unlock. I don't do anything with that. Is that right? On this screen it says enter pin is unlocked. All I need to worry about is whether or not we're recording.
It is recorded. It's recorded. You got set up to record.
Yeah. Mr. Austin, look at that box down by your right foot.
It's got to have a green border.
Yeah, it was blue.
Okay. I think I can figure it out. I'll try.
That's what I'm saying, it's not just like we're coming through. And we don't even know what we can do, because we don't even know what's going on. I feel like that's what they think we do. My opinion.
Well, I don't want, I like seeing get ahead. Really need it.
Yeah, but I mean, just like anything, I mean, it's just like rent, and what we do, like that's what we do, and we're actually, that's what they say. You know what I mean?
That was the craziest thing when it started, which we didn't have anything to do with that.
Mr. Farr, Mr. Savage, are you gentlemen ready? I've got 5:30.
Yes.
I am ready,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Thank you. So, as I said, I have 5:30. I will call into session the December meeting of the Elwood Redevelopment Commission. We'll start with a roll call of officials. Bob?
Savage, Tim Roby,
Greg Casada.
Jackie Lane?
Terry Dahay,
Tom Austin. Bill, we have a quorum tonight, so we're good to go.
For everybody's.
Everybody's here. And then we also have the minutes of the November 19th, 2025 meeting to consider and approve this evening. I hope you've all had a chance to look at the minutes. If you have had that opportunity, do you have any questions? Okay, so this is a slight adjustment of the minutes I'm proposing. When you look at the second paragraph on page 1, where Mr. Quesada was introduced as, this is what I'm having trouble with, a new appointee of the ERC. He's actually an appointee of the mayor. Should we make that change in the minutes?
So it should be a new appointee to the ERC?
Yes.
That's what it would be.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a stickler, but,
Well, whatever you want, you're president.
well, again, I'm not trying to be a stickler, but I just want Greg to know that we know why he's here, and we're glad he is here, so.
Oh, this is for Greg.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
So, it's just a slight change, Greg, is what I'm proposing, so. That's all I have. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as suggested changes have been identified?
so moved.
A motion by Mr. Dennehy, is there a second? Second by Mr. Roby, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. All right, Bill, let's pay the bills.
Okay. The invoices are the same as presented on the agenda. And, there's nothing that, Civil Site Group, you know, they're working on the sewer system, water system for the Flanagan property, so they haven't had an invoice for a couple of months, but that's what that out on more than me, and I'm in the loop too. Yeah, I'll tell him.
I mean, just, you know, in case we get asked, you know, right now we're kind of blinded on what's
Yeah,
going on.
he was working on the sewer, what was it he was working on?
Well, he's working on the site map.
Yeah, but there's some, I can't think of it.
Roads, I believe he was looking at too.
Yeah.
I think I'm like,
And the 10-inch main.
I'm like Tim, it would be advantageous to have him show up at either January or February with an update.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's no big deal. Like, he can do that, if he's, as long as he doesn't have any conflicting, I don't see any problem with that.
Okay, any other questions on the claims for tonight? Is there a motion to approve the claims?
so moved.
A motion by Mr. Roby, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lane, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Under old business, the first item listed is Bill Gross, the storage containers matter. Is he going to call in this evening or Zoom in? Or?
No, he didn't respond to my phone call, he didn't call me back.
Okay. So if everybody's okay, we'll move on to the next item, which is Lisa Hobbs. Lisa, welcome. You're here to talk about the Dickey Nursing Home property update.
Yes, sir. Last Wednesday, I went out and I done finals on 8 units. The units are all on 10th Street. I do believe they have one of those units rented. I will make a final inspection on the 9th Street property on Monday on those 6 units. They have got all the driveways in and power's all hooked up. Outside of that, the only thing they'll have to do, and it's gonna be weather permitting, probably springtime, for them to get all the yards landscaped and taken all of that. I did request that they take some of the stuff that they can take out now, but took me a couple times to get the final done on those 8 units, but we got it done.
Okay.
So,
They're looking better every time I go by, so progress is important.
well, I think it's important to the contractor that he gets paid before he moved along, and I think that was some of the issue. They were holding up some of the funds, and I don't think there's one of us that would work for not a paycheck, so they're eager to get it done, because they've got other projects they wanna get on, and that takes them closer to their housing, because both those contractors are driving an hour, hour and a half every time they come up here. So, but, I'll know more Monday on what they have rented. They do have them up for rent, but, look pretty good to me. I mean, I would live in them.
You
So
estimate,
about 10th Street, how's 9th Street doing? I mean,
9th Street, they're finishing up. They've got some punch-out lists and drywall repair. I asked them to go through 9th Street to make sure we didn't have the same minor issues that we did on 10th Street, and so they're going through those now, and they'll finish those up. Mr. Dennehy, did you have a question?
They're the same one at 10 minute. Thank you.
Lisa, do you know offhand what the apartments are renting for on 10th or 9th Street?
I do not, and I'm sure that the contractors don't get into that part of it either. I would expect probably 1,200 or a little more. I'm not.
As I recall, but, you know, that's been 3 years ago now, it's supposed to be 1,200, I think, in the MOU, but that's from recollection, and prices may have raised anyway since
Yeah,
then.
so,
So I have not talked to them either.
Okay.
yeah, so I think it'll make a good addition to that neighborhood. I know we've all had hiccups and everything, but I think it's coming to a close.
Okay. Lisa, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All the driveways that are poured and
Yes, the driveways have been poured for probably 3 weeks.
well, it was covered up when I went out there.
Uh,
I say, they was covered up when I went out there with snow, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and I do think that they used a local contractor to do those. I believe maybe Black Diamond put those in, but not 100% sure. So, we'll get to the end of it
Yes,
shortly,
sir.
hopefully.
Thanks so much. Next up, I have Christy Clark discussing the maintenance building request update. Christy?
Hello. Okay, so I had a chance to talk to Mike DeLong in the maintenance department, and what we've learned is that the street department, their building, which we want to just do an exact duplicate of that, their building, they just have two forced air gas heaters in their truck bay, and they have one electric wall heater in their office space. So that's it for them, as far as that goes. The maintenance department would do all of the electrical and all the interior stuff once the building is finished, as far as the construction of the building. A couple of the things that just kind of stuck out to me in talking to them was, you know, last week they put in some shelves in our office for our supplies because we don't have a supply closet, so they put in some shelves for Lisa. And they had to cut their stuff on our break room tables, in the break room, in the employee break room, because they don't have a workshop, they don't have a workspace. They're working out of a shed, our employee break room, and wherever they can find a space. One of the things that they talked about was that, like, for the bucket truck, for example, it really needs to be in a building with heat because of the hydraulics. So they said it just kills it sitting out there, and then they have to start it and run it forever before, just because it's not a good situation for it to be sitting outside. And then just the fact, you know, they have no storage, they don't have any place to store their equipment or work or any of that stuff. So, I mean, we kind of talked about that last month, but I just wanted to bring that up again. And then I did get, Cody Landrum got me another quote, which I think was a little bit cheaper. I don't have the others in front of me. And on this quote, we added a back door to an overhead door and a service door at the back of the building too, so they can just drive through. So that's one of the things. So I did bring that other quote for you guys, and I can give it to you afterwards just so you can look at it. But that's what I have.
So the only question I have is, and I know we discussed it last month, but I can't remember. The proposed site of the new maintenance building will be where?
Just west of the current street department building.
Okay, the new one.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. It'll just be in that green space next to it,
So where is the bucket truck stored now?
in our back parking lot.
Here. Okay.
Yeah. So they have to let it run, I don't even know how long. They have to let it run for a really long time, and it's not good on it, obviously. The other thing is, I don't know, I wasn't really in on all the conversations with the gentleman that purchased the North Anderson Street property that you guys just sold. But I do know that Mike's guys and Mike they were looking for a place to store all of their stuff. And we have been unsuccessful up until recently, and I went out and had a conversation with Bob French, and he came up on Monday, and he is letting them use a 53-foot trailer that he is gonna park out of the street department for them. So until they can get some kind of building, that's what they're gonna have to use, is this semi-trailer. But we at least got that much. So I'm still on that exit ramp, waiting in line. I'm ready to cut around some people. So I just wanna see this department. I have no skin in the game on this. It really has nothing to do with me, but I just couldn't stand seeing them work out of a break room and a shed and that kind of stuff. They deserve a department, they deserve a building, they deserve a nice building, and so I would love if you guys would consider. So that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions for me that?
Did you ask them about maybe another building being involved, that would be a little bit maybe cheaper price for everybody? You know, the one park that we talked about?
Well, I think this one might be that. Possibly. So, this one comes in at $44,500, and without having the others in front of me, I apologize, I can't remember the exact cost of those. But this one does include 2 garage doors and 2 service doors. I asked Cody, he had sent me one that just had one, and I
Okay, so personally, I'd like to accommodate your request when the time is right. And in my opinion, the time would need to be right once we know, A, what kind of money we have, and how much are we, is there a cost range, and what does each option bring with it from a facilities perspective. So I don't want my comments to reflect lack of support, but I'd like to have just a bit more information, Christie, so we can if we make the decision to get you back on the on-ramp, we know it's the right decision to make and we can afford it.
So I'm off ramp now?
Midway. I'm trying to help you. But there's no doubt that there's a need there, and.
So tell me what I need to bring back to you. What do you want to see exactly?
Well, first of all, your comments about the bucket truck are very disturbing to me, because just as a citizen of the community, I see that truck out doing all kinds of things when the weather's nice. If the weather renders that truck useless to a certain extent, then I think we need to figure out a way to maximize what we can do to get that truck out on the road when the weather's bad. I think it's a matter of provide us with who, what, where, when, everything that we will be asking about this new building. And I would like to see that at the January meeting, in advance of that meeting, unless we've already got it.
So I gave you 3 quotes last month, and then I have a 4th quote here, so tell me what more you want. I just want to make sure I am able to provide you what you're asking for.
I know, and I need to do my homework to review what you've already given to us.
Okay.
But if you know what you've given to us, and you've got another piece of information, then perhaps that will do it for me and the other commissioners.
And I got a question on that. Did they actually get asked, hey, we may have 2 buildings, what kind of deal is this gonna be if we do 2 buildings?
I see what you're saying, no. I don't think that was discussed, but that's a good point, Tim. Sorry. Now I get what you're saying.
Mr. Farr, did you have a comment?
Yeah, no, not a comment, I just have a question, and it's something that came up several years ago. But at that time, we were looking for a place, we were gonna rent a place to keep the snowplow, I'll get this backwards, in the summer, and the street sweeper in the winter, right? I got it right that time. But where are they now?
They're the street department.
They do have inside storage for those.
They do, the street department does. So this new building would be for the maintenance.
Maintenance
department.
only, okay. But it could be located next door to the
Correct.
other.
Correct.
Okay. I just remember that being the question, as to we were gonna, at that time, rent a building to put those in.
Yes.
But that was several years ago, and I've not been involved recently. But now, one thing that comes to mind real quick now, I just left a meeting involving St. Lady. There's a building sitting out there that we own, that at least is sheltered, you can't go in with it, but you can put something inside it. It used to have trucks in it.
Right.
Did you ever think of putting it in there temporarily?
They went out and looked at it,
And
and
it
it's
wouldn't
not.
work?
Yeah.
I just said, anytime anybody looked at doing anything with it, the answer was it wouldn't work doing it, but I thought maybe at least it'd be sheltered, that was what I asked.
Does the Valentine building have garage doors that it can fit in?
Not that work.
Oh.
And I do have, just a quick update on that, I do have someone that's very interested in the property. I've shown that property, I'm gonna say to 10 different businesses, companies, individuals. One of the big, things that turns people off right away is just the amount of stuff. I don't know how many of you guys, I know Tim's been in there, but I don't know how many of you guys have actually been in the Valentine building. There is a lot of junk in there, a lot of stuff, and, I always tell them when we go in, okay, just pretend like this stuff's not here, and look at the bones, look at the structure of the building and stuff. But, this particular company they're very well established. They have, Noblesville and Fort Wayne right now, and this would be kind of a middle place. Maybe at the January meeting, I can just give you more information, but when Bill and I talked to him earlier, he had some questions. I've shown the building to them twice. Lisa was with me on both times, no, the second time. Lisa was with me on the second time. They had tons of questions. Lisa actually went to lunch with them and answered more questions. They have been up here multiple times since then, just looking at stuff on the outside, trying to figure things out. They're really doing their due diligence. But I mean, he was actually talking about the possibility of a purchase agreement, like just kind of moving forward. Once we got some questions answered for him today. So I think the Valentine's building, we might be getting close to bringing you guys some kind of offer.
What kind of use would it have? I mean, is that confidential at this point?
Just kinda, yeah, just a little bit. We could maybe wait until next meeting. But
Okay, that's good news.
it is good
Good
news.
news.
Good news. So, but yeah, Jackie, to answer your question. And I don't even know how much it would cost to clean out just a space to get a vehicle in, there if you could get one of those doors open.
Is that bad?
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
I can't even begin to calculate how many dumpsters it would take, to even get it close to being.
A lot. Well, I was gonna say, to back up what Chrissy said, she showed the building the other day, and the people walking around in there was amazed at how much, the guy said, junk that is in here. So it kind of takes away, they can't see, I mean, some people can't get past all that, you know?
Now, this guy came.
But the one that she's talking about can, but, so if this one doesn't go through, I would encourage you to figure out how to get that junk out of there. I'm going to guess 7 or 8 dumpsters at minimum. At a minimum.
It's just, it's in bad shape, so it puts off the, it's the image when you walk in, it's just junk absolutely everywhere, scattered, piled, stacked, it's in bad shape, and then they have all these little makeshift storefronts that are built in there that are just kind of not well constructed, and, so it's difficult for people. This gentleman can kind of see past it, and, they've done a lot of work, so he has some kind of, in my opinion, kind of some final questions today for Bill and Lisa and I before he was possibly ready to move forward.
Well, it's a good example of the purchaser of the building, which would be ERC, not putting our foot down when we should have, to say, look, you wanna sell this thing and clean it up. Because I've been in the building with Tim a couple times, and it's amazing how bad shape, how bad the junk is, not the bones of the building, but
Right.
it's crazy. Chrissy, I'm going to call you after Christmas and just come up and talk to you about what I have relevant to the maintenance building proposal you're talking about, plus the new one, so I can just have
Sure.
a bird's eye view of the cost components.
Okay.
I'll call you after
I'll be
Christmas.
prepared. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Bill, I've got, next item is state plating future use discussion. Is that both you and Mike, or?
Just whatever. We've got several people interested in the property. Some people want to buy the whole property, some people want to buy 2 acres, some people want to buy 4 acres. The idea remediation's getting close. I didn't agree with our additional groundwater sampling work plan. Dan's agreed we put the comments in an email, save the city's money, but they're getting closer to the work plan. No further action letter. Like Jackie asked, what can we do? Well, that's what this no further action letter reminded me. When they get it all cleaned up, they'll let us know what can go there, what can be used for. I don't see a reason to try to sell it until we're done with remediation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, that's one we're trying, I've said it before. Everybody comes in with these projects, hit me between the eyes and this, that, and the other. How many times have I said that? You guys all agree to it. That's the reason I put it on the agenda, is just a state waiting future use discussion. So if that's the case, we're getting close, I think well, okay. Let's keep it
us know more of where they're at, more than me.
No, I think that's true. May I
Yes.
make a comment on that? And let me explain why that is, because I want to support what Bill said completely. If I represent, of course, I represent banks, as you know, and credit, but I represent developers too. And if an individual comes in and wants to build a Quonset hut out there, and he wants to go to the bank, the very first thing the bank has to do, banks cannot, or at least they will not, even if they could, lend money on any environmental problem that they might be stuck cleaning up themselves. So nobody in his present situation could borrow money to build anything out there. Now, if somebody had to have a deep pocket and wanted to build something out there, you would, but you're talking about just now $44,000 to build a small metal building will give you, on another property, tells you what it is. So the problem we have with state planning now is it's simply not marketable. Anybody who wanted, we did talk to somebody recently, and I just came from a meeting, somebody who wants to use part of it that wouldn't require a building and wouldn't require borrowing any money. That's a possibility, but he only wants a small part of it, and he wants to stay away from the environmental problems. Everybody does. So that's your problem. Everybody wants to gerrymander the thing around and say, no, I don't want to go there. Can I cut me a corner here? And we don't want to do that, because what would be left would look like a jigsaw puzzle, frankly. So I just want to support what Bill said, that it's not marketable.
I'm afraid we would end up getting stuck with uneconomic remnants.
That is exactly what
Uneconomic remnants that we'd be stuck with forever.
Yeah.
What we got left though, how much of that is actually gonna be able to get cleaned up? We know there's some that's not.
Most of it's back in that back corner.
Right.
And they agreed to do a couple more test sites. And of course, they left the concrete.
Now, that's the secret.
The concrete can be built on, but you can't, you're not gonna be able to tear the concrete out because it's contamination underneath.
And most of that concrete was truck ramps, I mean, it's.
There's
above ground, I mean,
they can build on it. It's
18 to 36 inches.
Yeah, that's a good foundation, it's good concrete.
But that's a problem. Nobody can remove those foundations, so everybody is going to want, it's what he said, you're going to want a jigsaw puzzle. I want to go around this one, and then what would be left is I don't know, we once talked about putting solar on those foundations. And that's still a possibility.
It's still a mix of solar, still a mix.
But other than that, from a building standpoint, I don't think it's marketable, because I can't imagine a lender who would lend on it. If they ask me for the title opinion, I'm gonna say no. And I think any other attorney's gonna say the same thing. So you need to know that in terms of thinking what you could do with it. You gotta get it cleaned up. And now, if you clean up all of the last 5 acres, or 5 acres back in the corner, okay, now you have a marketable thing you can do with the rest of it. But right now, you've got spots that you can use, and everybody wants to talk about a spot. And I think you want to be careful before you do that.
We created a map.
There, 2.5 acres or something up front with it.
That is a possibility, which is part of the old building, the rich level building up front, that area, a little bit. Like I said, I'd be afraid we'd sell that, or sell some of it, and then we'd be stuck with uneconomic remnant and not be able to ever sell it.
Is there any
You
way?
have a driveway back to the back if you sell off the front. So it's going to have to be a planned unit development of area, really.
Never gonna
Unless
use
one
it
person
for-
wants all of it.
Never gonna use it for residential.
Oh, hell no. Or for a child care nursery.
Nothing like that.
You can forget that.
Bill, is there any way of knowing when the IDEM letter might be received?
Well, I'm gonna invite him back to the meeting. I'll invite him to the meeting next. He even suggested he'd like to bring us up to speed. He's in the middle of it right now, and he just got a response back from Damon Ridley is our IDM, connection that's been responsible for this project for the 7 years I've been on it.
Okay.
More.
All right, we'll wait to hear from you as we move forward.
Well, I appreciate this discussion, because it was always, I appreciate you feel this way, but I was thinking kind of in the right direction.
I have item A and B, request for appraisal of Elwood Golf Links Clubhouse and request for appraisal of the Elwood Golf Links Pool House. I need to inform the commissioners how that ended up on the agenda. A week ago last night, there was a meeting in the mayor's office with Mr. Jones and Colin O'Neill of O'Neill Golf Management, and maybe John Burnett was there, but I don't remember. Anyway, the conversation focused on the unknown status of the sale of the clubhouse and the sale of the pool house. And there are all kinds of moving pieces to this puzzle. But one of the things I think I can honestly say is the mayor's concerned that if the city of Elwood loses control of ownership of anything out there that would jeopardize the future of the clubhouse and the pool house, that would be detrimental to golf in Elwood. And whether you appreciate what the mayor believes in or you have a counter position, the ownership of the clubhouse has changed. And I will tell you, I'm not sure it's a good change at this point. But having said that, what the mayor asked me to do was put on this evening's agenda the request for appraisals of the clubhouse and the pool house, just to have a number, just to prepare in the event of what can we do to make this happen, if it's going to happen. And I don't know if it is or isn't. So that's really Mayor Jones' request as it made its way to the agenda for tonight's meeting. I'll be glad to answer any questions that I can answer. If I can't answer them, I will refer you to the mayor. Does anybody have a question on these two requests?
So you're saying that we get appraisals, and we could offer the average of 2 appraisals to try to purchase it, and so what if they don't just want to sell? We don't know. We have no idea right now. Right?
He's willing to sell, he has a price, but he has it based on his appraisals. We don't have ours, and there's been some question about if his appraisal is accurate.
Yes.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
And so if his appraisal is accurate and we get 2, then we at least have something to start a conversation about, instead of just saying, well, we don't think it's worth what your appraisal says. We can say, we have 2 documents that say it's worth X, Y, Z. Can we have a conversation about
I
it?
see nothing wrong with getting appraisals.
Well, yeah, we're trying to, Jackie's right, we're trying to deal with this in an apples versus apples scenario. There is some sentiment that the numbers that the new owner has in terms of the price value of the building may be somewhat high. Somewhat high. So that's
ridiculous or absurd, seem more appropriate to go ahead.
I want you to give a little background of what the golf course has been doing, I mean, money-wise.
Well, I don't have the financials with me, but I can tell you that the 2026 golf season, in terms of revenue, was the strongest season we've ever had out there. And I'm talking about cart revenue, pro shop revenue, people paying to play, whether they're paying as an out-of-town visitor or they're just happen to want to play golf at the Elwood Golf Links. It is a very popular place for people to play. It's not pricey. You don't have to go too very far to figure out what pricey is. It has been a very successful season. And I would add, the first season that we opened in 2019, I think. So this is year 6. It's the best year we've ever had since the Elwood Golf Links has been open. And a lot of that is due to O'Neill Golf Management and the support of the golfing community. It's been fantastic. And I think Jerry would attest to that.
That worth more to the golf course for owning it. Now, how much it's gonna cost us, I don't know. I know what I would get for it. It was a good idea that Jackie had, we need to get appraisal. Now, whether they had appraisal on the amount of money I hear that they want, I doubt it. I think they just kinda got this out of the heavens someplace. But it's worth more to Elwood than it is anybody else. You know, that's just like if there's property across the street from, say, my funeral home, it's worth more to me than it is anybody else. But the golf course is worth more to the Elwood citizens. And we're not gonna make, I don't think we'll ever make any money over having a kitchen. Okay? Alexander put up a beautiful building over there. I mean, it's very, very nice. I've been over there several times. If there's been 10 people in it, I would be surprised. Okay? So you're not gonna make it, it's a convenience. Sure, it'd be nice to have a restaurant where you go in and eat and so forth. But it's worth more for being a pro shop and having restroom facilities. And this thing has got way out of bounds when we lost the golf course and the farmer sold it back to the new owners. I would never have bought it on those circumstances that they had. They only got like 3 or 4 feet on the exterior walls. And they have to keep up the parking lot. And they gotta do something with restroom facilities. That was at the pool. So it's, like Tom says, it's a thing that you got started off on the wrong thing, but we're happy to get what we got. And I know the mayor would really like to get this property, and so would I, but you know, you can only pay so much. I always think, what's it gonna cost us to get it back where it's supposed to be? And we won't really know that till we get into the conversation with the owners. See, we ran our space in the pro shop, and they kinda got us in a bind right now. And none of us like to get in a bind. But we're in a bind right now, so that's about all I got.
Well, I would be remiss, Jerry, if I didn't mention all the outings that take place out there every off season that generates a lot of money
Oh, yeah.
for all kinds of groups, and without the golf course, I don't know what would happen.
And we get more every year.
Yeah, that's right. So, Mr. Farr and Mr. Savage, that's the background as to why those 2 items are on the agenda.
Do you wanna get one appraisal to start, or go ahead and get 2?
I wanna get 2.
2 for each one of the 2 buildings.
Which one?
Appraisal.
Yeah.
Where is the pool house?
Pool house, do you know where the new pavilion is out there?
Yes.
It's just on the north end of the pavilion.
A little bit.
It's that brick building.
It used to have the men and women's
So,
bathrooms in it for the pool, but they took them out for some reason.
so the same owner, the clubhouse, they own the pool house too.
Yes,
Yes.
and 6 feet of real estate around the building.
So we built the pavilion, but we don't own the pavilion.
No, what happened there is we surveyed it off, and we actually own right up to the edge of the building that was the swimming pool. And so that was
where the pool used to be.
yeah, where the pool was used to be. We actually surveyed that off, and we bought the swimming pool area and out to the parking lot and right up to the edge edge of the building. And that was the agreement then, that if we didn't buy the building, we didn't buy it because by that time they'd taken the wall separating the men and women, so utilities out of it, and they'd removed the stools and urinals. So we didn't buy that, but the agreement is, well, we use it, and if you put it back, we'll pay for this. You put the wall back, and then we'll talk about it. But that's what never got done. But that's the building. But we actually own what has the tables and the shelf and that, and the city owns that.
Bill, I think would be advisable to get 2 appraisals for each property,
Okay.
There's,
to see how it all sorts out.
there's 2 certified appraisers that are actually certified appraisers. Due to the importance of this, you agree that we probably use those 2?
Yes.
I think you should.
They're totally certified appraisers.
But
Not just brokers, they can do appraisals.
no,
They're certified, well, I mean, we use them already, I mean.
but I will tell you, what
They
brings
charge
this
us-
up, the
they
lease
charge
is
us.
expiring December 31. And I will tell you, there's an awful lot of discussion of litigation over this, which seems highly likely. And so get an appraiser who can testify. So get one,
They can testify.
yeah, and he can testify.
There's eminent domain.
So if you're gonna get an appraiser, get one that you can use, just in case. Hope the hell you don't have to use it. but-
Yeah. Anyway, folks, that's the request for your consideration.
Yes, and a matter of time, we need to get that done right away and get this thing settled, because golf season will be starting in March, so. Okay, you need a motion for that?
Yes, sir.
I so moved, exactly what you just said.
We have a motion from Jerry and a second by Jackie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Bill, I've added another item under new business. I wanted to keep on the discussion point. Since our executive session did not take place today at 5, I would like for Mr. Farr and/or Mr. Graham to strive to see if we can have an executive session prior to next month's meeting
Let's just go
on the same topics, yeah.
With the same individual, okay?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
5 o'clock before the next meeting.
Yeah, and I think the next, I'm not sure when the next meeting is. I don't know. We'll check. I've got January 21st, 2026.
25, you said?
January 21st,
Oh, 24.
2026.
Okay.
Bill, unless you and Mr. Farr have other items or the commissioners have anything, that's all I have for tonight.
Tim, we got the update on the
Yes.
appraisal, and Tim will probably, go back and talk to Jerry.
Sure.
Okay.
I do have a question, Bill, on that. Did they do this as real estate, or did they do it as agricultural? Or do you know?
Well,
Todd asked me, and I wasn't sure, so.
Do we have copies and should state that?
we have, I don't have them with me, though. Wait a minute.
It may say what it's,
I thought it was agricultural.
I assumed it was.
It probably is, because that's what it is. You can't just call something just because.
Yeah.
No.
It says there's a horse barn,
It's
it uses,
results of the county. But, I mean,
That's what we run into the property out there by the school. They had highs and issues with agriculture because they were farming.
yeah.
So they did the highest appraisal they could for agriculture, but the people that owned it thought it was commercial property just because they thought it was commercial. It don't work that way.
what was Flanagan's property?
They can say no, so it works that way.
Was Flanagan's property commercial?
I don't think so. I don't know, it's traffic wise, it's next to the highway. I mean, it could be
It
considered.
wasn't, I guarantee it wasn't agricultural.
No,
It was more than 10 acres of that.
It had a motel.
The comps they're using are real
don't want to turn it into.
No, I'll agree with that. Now, you can turn it into anything you want, it's easy to have it
Well, it's no
rezoned.
different than
But
the
a
Frank's
appraiser
property,
is
we
gonna
went
tell you
in,
what
just
you
because
got.
that building belonged, we tore every damn one of them down.
4 acres in town.
I mean,
Good for
that
commercial
property's
frontage.
worth a hell of a lot more than this one. That
Addition, the
was.
property's very poor. It's, I don't see that anybody quotes the actual zoning in it, but it would be easy to call over to the planning commission and, one telephone call, and tomorrow we'll get the actual zoning of it. And a lot of times you'll find that the zoning that's over there is not what's being done on the property, because nobody bothered to come tell them, hey, stop doing that. And so, I'm gonna assume it's agricultural. I don't see it's ever been anything but agricultural, but I don't see that it's zoned that. I don't know what it's zoned, but it'd be easy. I'll, remind me tomorrow. and I'll
So the
look at it.
comps they use comps.
They're using comps for
Residential.
agricultural. And they're saying it should be agricultural.
Conservation, residential, and that kind of stuff, that's the comps.
But it, it might be zoned off as something different, and that's not unusual. Over the years, we've had lots of local
Whatever
business.
it's appraised for is what the seller is going to sell for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that affects what you're willing to pay for it, if you're gonna buy it. But I'll call and I'll get the actual zoning.
Okay, Rob, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just wanted to update the commission on, the Ready grant went through about 17 or so adjustments. Christie's been a champ at helping us get the documents together for them. So the $1 million grant that was, we've been working on this for like 14 months, is in the for the project for the sports center. You signed some paperwork for us there last month to be able to get that submitted. So, feel relatively optimistic with the new administration that funding is gonna be in place. It does have some timing constraints. I think what I'll do is create a document for you guys just to see what that looks like, because as other information comes in about actually advancing the project, you're gonna need to marry that stuff together, because, they are gonna want that money spent down. So, we front-loaded it on the superstructure of the building, so earlier construction dollars, if you would, once the steel package is bought and those bills are submitted, that can be then reimbursed.
Okay.
So,
When you mentioned new administration, they talk about Governor Braun.
yes,
Okay.
it's been kind of a lot of turnover, a lot of confusion that we've been kind of working through. So, their intent is to keep things moving, but we need to make sure we satisfy all the requirements.
Sure, sure.
So, we also, I think, Bill, if you haven't, I think you did, copied the folks, our contract is up at the end of the year, so we've submitted a contract for review for next month. Talked to the mayor, he was in support of that, we're available to discuss this in advance with anybody prior to meetings. So,
All right, so you'll be here next month.
I will be, and, I'll bring that agenda on the dates on that ready money, because we don't wanna lose $1 million if we can keep doing that, so.
Well, as always, thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Traveling over here.
I know it's challenging, so we continue to try to move a few things forward.
Absolutely. Appreciate your support. Okay, our next meeting is the 21st of January, 2026. I will entertain a motion to adjourn if you are so inclined.
Second.
Second. Motion by Tim, second by Jackie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Everybody have a happy holiday and a happy New Year.
Thank you, Tom.
Where we going for dinner?
Coming?
You said something about buying a Christmas dinner.
I'm thinking, we want to go to Rallies in Anderson.
Hey,
Last of the big spender.
We can't
Right.
go to a bar and get a drink.
that's right.
Right, we're glad to have you on board. It was a good choice. Jerry, good to see you. Tim, stay in touch. Bob, good to see you. stay in touch.
Before you leave, you need to, Santa Claus might come.
Well, you know what, I did that.
And you didn't get it.
I begged for a tricycle, a piece of cake. Any day.
One of those big
I tried, but it didn't work out.
He's just want to be on.
Well, it's good to see you. Christie? What do I do down here? I just turned the mic, but I haven't done anything down
Okay, Mandy, she's gonna text Mandy.
It's starting me, and you can
Hey, make sure.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's four. It's the field next to next to, what's the next house?
Jerry Robbie.
What the current zoning is, yeah.
You're right.
That's what they would want.
I thought they were having permission. Legal
Well, that's good to see you.
Apparently, she's looked it up, the properties are too. So, commercial, that worked pretty well for anything.
Okay, so I'm not gonna see you tomorrow, since we don't
No,
have a
there's no
meeting.
meeting. And
I got the message that January 26th, Johnny and I gave message, so we'll get that.
and if it changes, I'll let you know.
That'd be great, thank you.
As far as I know, I'm getting, I went through, got an appraisal in it, I've got it, environmental, was to be there tomorrow, zoning, or survey is next week, I will have all our ducks in line.
Sounds good. Merry Christmas.
junk, isn't it?
Yeah, you're the man.
Hey, you have a ride home.
Look in the dictionary, Webster's dictionary, one word, junk.
Junk?
And whatever the dictionary describes as junk, they're describing
That's
the
what's there.
contents of that book.
Oh,
That's one word too, right?
Well, that's Jeffrey Epstein. That is the tip of the iceberg on the Jeffrey Epstein.
Elwood Epstein.
The elder version of Jeffrey Epstein.
do you have a ride home? You got a car or a ride? Well, that's not that far, never mind.
Yeah, you know I didn't want it. I can't, I'd still be out there sitting down, so.
I was waiting for you to say that,
He didn't give a shit when I got
It's
there.
just my opinion, but I would think that your son-in-law would have such high regard for you that he wouldn't expect you to walk in.
No, but at least I tell him how to walk, and the shortest way is to go down to the corner.
GPS it for him.
I mean, let me say this, if I see Mr. Ford riding through town as an Uber driver, I'm not gonna wave him down.
I can tell you what frees over for that happens.